Okay, so you have your dream that you're dreaming. You have the business model identified, which is buying businesses. You have bought yourself some nice suits. You have, top advisors on your dream team. You have, interviewed several banks. You have accounting firms. You have law firms. And you have all of these connections now. You came in with no connections, wearing a t-shirt. Now suddenly you are dressed up in a three-piece suit. I'm really talking about myself here. And you line up everything, all of these elements of the business, and you find yourself being in an extremely powerful position. If you want any advice financially, you can make one phone call and you can get advice from the top financial expert. If you want advice on legal matter, you're confused about something, you have a high-profile lawyer advising you. If you want, and these are your partners, your directors. If you want advice, for example, in the industry that you're in, so and so, what do you think about this? Or you can do a Zoom call, and you have such a wealth of experience on your board. You have such a track record. Any place you call, you say, they'll ask you for your company profile, your executive summary, and you'll put all of this on your company profile. These are the people on our board. This is our vision. This is who represents us. And you send this company profile. Suddenly, everybody is very nice to you. Everybody wants to do a meeting. They want to understand about your project. They're excited to meet you, and they are shaking your hands. And you're able to, open doors at the highest, at the most top level decision makers. And, if you have a deal, if you have an opportunity that's very profitable, that's lucrative, you have banks now that you can go and present this deal and potentially get financing. I mean, you're starting to feel like a high-profile guy. I mean, you're starting to feel like a powerful guy executing this. So this is the time where Dan Pena talks about having deal flow. Deal in this context, deal can be so many things, but deal in this context means a business that you want to buy, that you have already agreed on a purchase price and the terms of the business acquisitions. What would be the role of the owner after you've acquired the company, how long he's going to stay, what's going to happen to the employees, how much of the purchase price is going to be paid up front, how much is it going to be structured in installments, assuming all of those things are hammered out and in a document, that is essentially a deal, okay? And signed by both the parties. That's an MOU. You can call it Memorandum of Understanding. It's a document that just talks about the terms of the deal. You can use this document to raise, actually line up capital and get the banks excited. So, first of all, why would the banks give you the money? You might ask. Doesn't the bank need collateral? You're talking about getting a loan, and why get a loan? So here is where Dan Pena, we'll get to the deal flow, but this is one thing that I just remembered. Here is Dan Pena, what he talks about raising capital, and what are the types of money that are out there that you can raise for your company. And this is the point where I was a little bit apprehensive that I don't want to do business with other people's money. I want to put my own money because it's much more safer, this, that. But if you want to grow fast, you need access to big money. And you can't do big deals by your own money. You have to use other people's money. And your biggest leverage in life, what Dan Pena says, is other people and other people's money. So there are several forms of financing. One of the financing is called equity financing, which is you give out some shares in your company and you bring in money. Another form of financing is debt financing. You get a loan and you have to pay back with interest. Then there are another, which is mezz financing, which is a combination of debt and equity. Not going to get into too much technicality of finance in this video. This is just a review video. But these are the several forms of financing that he covers. There's something called as a seller's financing, which is you acquire a business and you pay no money down, zero money upfront, and you run the business and you pay the seller from the profits of the company, his own company, which is a very funny thing, but it happens. Okay. So the important thing is the deal. If the deal is good enough, the money will be available. If the money is not available, deal is not good enough. As simple as that. So you got to find a good deal. A good deal just means a low purchase price, relative to the cash flow. So if something should be worth 2, and you're paying 1 or 1.5, that can be considered a good deal. I am oversimplifying here about, valuations and opportunities, but to make it very simple, if something is worth 100% and you're paying only 60%, 70% of the value, then that can be considered a good deal, like a discounted price. So if you have a good deal, then there will be a very high chance that you can use the cash flows and pay back the banks. And banks want to make interest. So the more money they push out of the door, the more interest they make. And not only do they make interest, they make bonuses on their on each deal. So if it's $1 million deal, the banker will have a bonus from that, maybe $10,000, $5,000, whatever. If it's a $10 million deal, the bonus is going to be bigger. If it's a $100 million deal, the bonus could be in millions. So the more money you borrow, the more money the banker makes. And this is the reason why it's easier to get financing for bigger deals than it is for smaller deals. And this is the reason why there is more excitement for bigger deals. So you can actually ask for more money and end up getting it. And that's the moral of the story. And so why does the bank doesn't need collateral? I'll give you an example. When you go to buy a house and you need financing for the house that you're buying itself is the collateral for the bank, on the basis of which you get the loan. Or if you're buying a car, the car itself becomes the collateral for the loan. But let's stick to the house. It's much better example. If you want to buy a house, the house that you're buying is going to be kept as a collateral. And if you cannot pay the loan, then the bank will take away the house. Similarly, if you're buying a company, the company itself has assets, it has cash flow, and for whatever reason, you're not able to pay the loan, the bank will take control of the company. And that's called leveraged buyout, which just means that the company itself is pledged with the bank to secure the loan and pay the seller and take control of the company. And you need to run the company, you need to generate cash flow, and you need to pay off the loan with interest. And why this is why banks give loan for acquisitions is because these are established companies. You're not, if these company owners go to get a loan from the bank, they will get it. So you're just going there and you're taking their financials and you're taking a loan out in the name of their company. And you're acquiring the company using the capital that was raised on the basis of that company, buying the owner out and taking control of the company and repeating the process and buying several companies, and this is how you create wealth. If you acquire 15 companies, $2 million each, that's $30 million. And you can sell that. Once you acquire the companies, you can sell that for double price in most cases. And that will be roughly 60 million. You can make 50 to 60 million dollars of capital. Using that capital, you can pay off the directors and the shareholders that you have, advisors, and that's going to be a healthy return for them for not putting in any money, just advising you and making some money. So that's in essence the model. I got a bit deviated, but let's stick to financing. The banks will give you the loan based on the financials of the company, based on the company itself. If the bank doesn't give you the loan, it simply means that the bank doesn't feel safe with the deal. The purchase price is maybe too high. The profit is not good enough. The cash flow is not stable enough. And the bank doesn't have enough, maybe the deal is too risky. And then the bank is not going to give you the money. But if you get a good deal where the profit of the business is, if it's used to pay off the loan, the profit is double the amount of the loan installment each year or each month. So if the coverage is really high, if the profit, if the company is making a lot of money and you have a loan which is really small compared to the profit, then that's a good deal. Okay. Again, this explanation is oversimplified. This is a technical thing. I cannot really get into it in this video, but just to make you understand about this. So now, you have access to banks, you have advisors, and you're looking for a business to buy. And you will see different industries have different volume of businesses. Some industry, if you see in your country, may have 5,000 businesses in that industry that you are targeting. So you have 5,000 potential targets and you need only 15 or 20 to get rich. So all you got to do is just pick up the fucking phone and get into get in touch with these people, get to the decision maker, agree on the purchase price, ink the deals, negotiate it right, bring the purchase price down, pay a little bit money up front and rest all in the installments. If you structure a very shrewd and a great deal, then you can get financing for it and you can take ownership of the company and you can start building a portfolio of several multi-million-dollar companies. And by the way, you will have majority stake in this company if you follow the system. So imagine having 60-70% of $1 million business or a $10 million business or several $10 million businesses. And that's wealth. That's why the name of the book is Your First 100 Million. So then you find a business, you get in touch with the business owner, you agree on the purchase price, you agree on the terms, you ink that on a piece of paper, which is a legal document. Not going to get into technicalities of it right now. You go to the bank, get financing, or set up, a structure, a seller finance deal. You own the business. That's one deal. And you keep doing several deals and you have a healthy portfolio. The board is happy. You are happy. Everybody's happy. Okay. So this is the deal flow. Okay. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about how you actually make money. Okay. Where exactly do you make money? This is all nice. You're doing deals, but how am I going to get paid? How am I going to get rich? How am I going to get wealthy? I'm going to talk about it in the next video. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get mentored by me and reach out to me personally, I'm leaving my social media accounts. Okay, so just send me a message if you want to be mentored by me. I mentor entrepreneurs over 3 to 6 month period on how to execute this M&A. Based on the experiences that I have had, and I have actually implemented everything that I'm talking about here. So if you want to be mentored by me personally on a one-on-one basis over the 3 to 6 months, every step of the way, then get in touch with me. You can set up a free consultation call by sending me a message on my social media. Okay? So I'll talk to you in the next week.